my 3 points are, two of those, I think we should focus internally. We look at crisis and then we look at opportunities. I think, waging opportunity in the midst of crisis, I thought we need to manage both. And my take is the 2 points that at least from accountant's perspective that we need to manage in time of crisis. Number one, I think certainly we need to instill greater discipline in cash flow management. Now, why do I say that? Because I've just seen so many, of the companies. Some of these are my clients, really going down. Now, some due to poor cash management, not so much of weak business model, but really, they have not spent enough time in cash flow management. In fact, one or two of them have very, very sound business model, have been doing very well, but highly geared, very highly geared, using short-term finances to manage long-term investment. So in crisis time, you come down very quickly. So instill greater discipline in cash flow management. So that's internal. My second point is manage your discretionary spending carefully. Many businesses, I'm sure in this room, many of you are bosses. Discretionary spending is something that I think we have to manage very carefully. And in fact, many businesses are cutting down on that. Now, I even tell my client these days, as I travel and I stay in hotels. Of course, the clients leave it to me to stay wherever that I need be. Now, I actually, have come down in my own expectation. I used to be staying like in 5-star hotel. Then the clients don't pay, in good time. But now I go down to 4 or 3-star hotel, and I told my client that I said, look, time is bad. It's all right. I just need a place to stay. So the last trip I stayed in a 3-star hotel. It's all right, 3-star. In fact, they are still stars. So I can't probably have to go down. He hasn't asked me why not 2 or 1 of those stars. Fortunately, he hasn't asked me yet. That day may come, I don't know. But at least I think that's something I tell my client. Little things like that, I think it helps. Many of you are managing businesses. I think to show that little concern, for your client, spend less. I think this is a good practice in that time. So these 2 points are focusing internally as to how you manage. My third point is, my last point is focusing externally. That G opportunity. I'm a big believer in crisis time. We must continue to invest in business development. There are great opportunities out there. So we must not lose sight on external focus, and that is looking for opportunities. Increase your strength, or be it staff strength in the business.
The key challenge to a number of organisations on the employee side is going to be really around their talent management policies. Either having to improve their current policies, or maybe their current talent management procedures are going to be tested even more over the next 6 to 9 months. So I guess my closing remarks would be just to really ensure, as leadership within the finance community, we have that balance between maintaining our staff morale and retention rates in line with productivity. And if we can get the balance right between those two, the sales growth and the long-term sustainability of businesses will continue. No process can be completed, no cost cutting can be done, without an effective, motivated and empowered staff force. And the final thing I'd add is, quality of service, customer service, moving resources, as many resources as possible into the front end of the business now. Is as important, if not more important now than before.
During the SARS crisis, or I feel there's actually more uncertainty during the SARS crisis, because we are talking about a virus, the kind of virus, and we actually never know. We know then how long will this epidemic be contained, because you can't control the virus. You don't know when it will appear in which building or which drain again, or which poultry farm, So imagine, even for that kind of crisis, the world actually went on investing, went on preparing for the recovery, and we actually overcome that. The crisis today definitely massive and unprecedented in scale, but it's still man-made, in the sense that it's still due to human greed, it's still due to practices, excessive practices from the, you might say, originating from the states and all that. So, and equally, governments worldwide are also taking all the steps they can to put together measures, policy measures, strong and forceful policies to overcome it. So actually, in that sense, compared to a virus, I think I'm actually more confident that this crisis will certainly pass. And I'm also one of those who believe that it will happen within the year. And so with that, in fact, I was thinking our motto, to paraphrase the catchphrase of the TV Survivor series, we should in fact aim to outwit, outlive, and outlast the competition.
The tribe has spoken.
There's just four, I think, operating philosophies which is even more apt in downtime now, and summarized in 4 CH. CH. First, clear head. I think there will be a lot of distractions during this time. We need to keep a very clear head. So that's 1 CH. Second, compassionate heart. Because this is a time where you can make as many friends as possible. A friend in need is a friend indeed, right? And this is actually the best time to extend your influence to and to help whenever you can. So compassionate heart. And of course this leads to, trying to retain as many staff as possible too, right? Your core group with you. 3, competent hinds. Right? It's a legs. Competent hinds. Because you need to be agile, you need to be able to run very fast. When opportunities are there, you don't wait. Just grab it. And you have to keep going in that. So competent hinds. And I think the fourth one is one which I think Subi has alluded to, that we are not very good at, but I think we need to develop that competence. And that is collaborative hands. This is not a time to retreat and start building barriers. And I think in the newspapers today, there was a talk about countries coming together to guard against protectionism. So same thing in businesses. This is not the time to start retreating to self-preservation and then, look at how do we beat the other guy over there. I think this is the time to start looking at opportunities to collaborate with each other, come together stronger, do aggregate buying or aggregate procurement so that you can lower cost, and in fact go out there as a consortium so that the opportunities might be greater, the confidence that you give to the other side could be greater. And so I think there's actually the 4 CH that we can go by to guide ourselves. So it's, to repeat, clear head, compassionate heart, competent time, collaborative hands. And at the end of it, I can't help but throw this in because this is something that's on my dominant thought, and that is the age where the multi-million-dollar packages and salary packages needs to be topped up by multi-million-dollar bonuses has to pass. The era of privatizing gains and socializing losses has to pass. Businesses need to be much more integrated and invested in the communities that they operate in. Because in times of any crisis at all, whether it is a virus, whether it is an economic downturn, you would need the support of the now increasingly powerful and vocal individual citizens in the community to come together to support your business. And of course, this also means your internal clients, your external clients has got much more resources now than before, and therefore work collaboratively with them. The opportunities are there, the business is still there, and it's a question of how do we look at it, the story that we tell ourselves, the story that we tell the others. But go in there with the 4 CH.